Hello and welcome to Gulf News Kicking Back, where we have just seen the first last 16 match between the Netherlands and the USA, where the Netherlands ran out comfortable 3-1 winners. It was the first time, in fact, in the tournament where we've actually seen the Netherlands play some of that football that we all know that they're capable of. In the group stages, they seemed to flatter to deceive, even though they'd got 2 wins and a draw. But Charm, this finally looks like that they're playing and putting together a decent game, and they scored 3 really good goals today.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's a complete turnaround as yet, because they're coming together. It's a lot better than the previous games. But even today, it is more of their skill, or maybe their professionalism, which came to the fore. Really, see, they got 4 chances, they put 3 of them in, but then the more of the match was played by the USA. But the Dutch, we know, they are very clinical finishers. They are ruthless, and you don't give them chances like that. Four mistakes, they scored 3. So this is the Dutch we know but we still not yet seen the flowing football the Dutch are capable of. But I'm sure they are getting there.
It looks like, Sham, that there's signs of life from them, but it could have been a totally different game had Christian Pulisic put that chance away after just 3 minutes. He was clean through. He looked across to see if the flag had gone up for offside. He was onside, and his left foot shot lacked any power, and the keeper made a brave stop. Had that gone in, Sham, and had Netherlands been chasing this game, could we have been looking at a totally different result today?
Absolutely, yes. If that had gone in, yes, the whole tenor of the match would have changed. Like, I think you got it right, because the whole problem was Pulisic was worried that he was offside. I think that affected his concentration a bit. So in one-on-one situations, that kind of split-second hesitation, that is what did him in. I think if that ball had gone in, like you said, we would have had a different match in our hands.
That's absolutely right, Sham. That split second gave the keeper the advantage. He came out, narrowed the angle, and he used his leg to good effect to stop that opportunity. But let's bring Satish in. Satish, the US can be quite pleased having reached the last 16 of the tournament, having done okay in the group stage, and they can go home, not too disappointed, can't they?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a huge credit to them, because reaching a last 16 in a World Cup, it's always creditable in a knockout stage where anything go anywhere. And Dutch having the experience of being one of the big nations in footballing world, I think they have a very they can be proud of their effort. Yes, maybe we all thought the surprises will go on in the last 16 stage also, but that was not to be. But Dutch did a good job to keep the sanity intact in the last 16 so far.
You're right, Satish, but we could be seeing some more shocks. There's going to be plenty of clashes coming up. But Sham, let's bring Sham back in. Louis van Gaal, we know, he's been around the block plenty of times. He took the Netherlands to the semi-final in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, where they lost on penalties to Argentina. He's got them to the quarterfinals. Just how far do you think he can guide this current team?
I think they are quite capable of going all the way up to the semi-finals, because if they keep the pace, like you said, Van Gaal is an old fox. He's been at this game for far too long. He knows exactly what to do to win. Even today, if you look at it, the Dutch strategy was very clear. Full credit to Van Gaal for that, because the pace and intensity from the USA was so good, but the Dutch never tried to match that. They just stood back, defended it, and caught them on the counters. And those counters were so fast and so effective. That's all they needed to do. 3 goals. And what a performance from Denzel Dumfries. 2 assists and a goal. And so also Noppert, the goalkeeper, he put on a fantastic show. So, I mean, Daley Blind, an assist and a goal. So, I think they are really, really getting there. I think they are going up by a notch with every game. So I think they are quite capable of going up to the semi-finals. But Van Gaal says they can go to the final. But of course, he's the coach, he would say that. But I think realistically, a semi-final looked a distinct possibility now.
There was a brilliant press conference yesterday, Sham, with Louis van Gaal. One journalist, he said, the football is just so boring. I'm not excited by the football. Van Gaal's response was, why don't you go home then? The journalist came back and said, I have to stay until the final. Van Gaal said, I'll see you in the final. So he's obviously feeling very confident that he can take them all the way. But you're right. There's apart from today's first goal, 21 move passing goal was a tremendous first goal. The second was a carbon copy. In fact, it was a very similar goal. There's far more for them to come. But it looks like they're getting there. We're seeing lots of signs of them playing the way we all know that they can play. It's certainly not total football, but they're advancing. They're in the quarterfinals, so they'll be very pleased about that. Right, we've got 2 more matches to look forward to tomorrow, starting with France against Poland, Lewandowski against Mbappe. Satish, how do you feel that one's going to go tomorrow?
It's going to be a tough game, but I think I will go with France because they have been more better team so far. When you look at them, they are more organized and the way they pass, the way they move, and all, like they are much better than maybe, I'm not saying discounting the others, but they look very strong at this point of time. So I would go with France in tomorrow's game.
I think you're right, Satish. They have looked, Sham, they've looked really good, haven't they, so far?
To me, France is the best, has been the best team on display so far. They have been very disciplined, very organized, very structured, very clinical, very professional, and they have the look of the champions. So I don't, and Poland on the other hand has been doing just enough. They have not been really impressive in that sense, but they have just been doing enough to win matches. And this is their first knockout game. Let's say, and I don't think they don't stand much of a chance against France.
Yeah, Poland have been looking far from exciting. They're a very workmanlike team. They're looking obviously to the strengths of Lewandowski, but I agree with you too. I think France should be too strong for them. And the other one tomorrow I'm very concerned about is Senegal taking on England. And honestly, guys, if England don't take this game seriously, if they don't give 100% effort at least and match the Senegal midfield, we could be overrun, and there could be a surprise tomorrow. As long as we play the way we can. And if Southgate gets his team selection absolutely right, this is the most important point. He has to play Foden. He's seen the damage he can do, and he has to play him on that left-hand side as well. He can't be, playing him on the right and expecting him to cut in on his left and creating chances and taking shots at goal. With that in mind, Satish, how do you think England and Senegal are going to get on tomorrow?
They have to just go back to the drawing board and look at the game and then say, okay, let's do the same thing, because it's not something which it's difficult. When you go back and analyze what you did right on those days, you can always go back and do that. I think that's a game that England need to play if they have to beat Senegal. Senegal could be a tricky team anyway.
Yeah, Sham, do you think we're seeing an upset tomorrow?
No, I think that'll be. I have a sneaky feeling this might go into penalties.
Oh God! Don't say that, Sham, please. I can't take it.
I'm calling an England win, but it might be a penalties. But tomorrow's game will be won and lost in the midfield. That is for sure, because Senegal can be very aggressive. They can do the running, so you need to stop them. So which is where the English midfield is going to be very critical. And I just hope that Gareth Southgate stops experimenting. I hope he sticks on to the team from the last match, and I hope he sticks on to the team which the way they played in the second half of the last match. And I think if he does that, England can sneak away, sneak a 1-0 win, or like I said, if it goes into extra time and penalties, they would be able to. This penalties, they will win.
I think for the neutrals, we all love to see penalties. It's one of the most exciting things. But obviously, for the teams and players and the fans involved, it's painful. But I think the assessment about the midfield is absolutely right. Depending on the selection, that could hinge on the whole thing. The result could hinge on what Southgate does. The match could be won and lost before kickoff. So we'll see. Right, well, I think we're all rushing off to watch Australia against Argentina now. So that's all from us for tonight. In the meantime, head to golfnews.com for all the latest news and reviews, and head to our social media channels for all our latest content and more. Thanks to the guys, and we shall see you again tomorrow night.